Hello everyone, welcome to Academy of Earth Sciences. This is Kodali Lakshman Pradeep. We have been discussing mineralogy. Today we will be starting a very important part in mineralogy, that is crystallography. ये टॉपिक सुनते ही बहुत ही सारे जियोलॉजी स्टूडेंट्स ये सोचते हैं कि बहुत याद रखने वाली चीज़ है, बहुत ही बाय हार्टिंग है, बट इट इज़ नॉट लाइक दैट. ऐसा नहीं है. इन दिस crystallography you have to visualize some part in 3D, some part you have to understand, and some part you have to by heart it. And as a geology student, you are very good at it. So try to understand very carefully and be attentive. But before going to discuss X-ray diffraction, I want to add on some details to the previous lectures. First thing is PCC packing. In cubic mineral. So we learned that in PCC packing, atoms are present at the corner. Atoms are present at corner, right? And if we draw the atoms, these two atoms are touching, so we will find the edge length. This is the edge length because it is a cubic mineral and we know that all edge lengths are equal, so we consider it as a and this is also A and this is also A. Now in the previous lecture we consider these are of equal size or equal spheres. Then what we written? R. So we simply calculated that R plus R is equal to A. This is the formula, right, in the previous lecture. What if these are of unequal sizes? Because we know that most of the minerals are ionic in nature, in that there are positive and negative charges, means cations and anions are present, and we know that cations are smaller in size and anions are bigger in size. So what if the spheres are of unequal size? Then what you have to write? For suppose this is the anion and this is the cation, then how this formula changes you should know. In this radius we will put the radius of anion, right? Radius of anion plus radius of anion plus radius of cation is equal to edge length. This is the whole edge length, na? So we will write whole edge length. So this is the formula for the edge length for the PCC mineral if it is of unequal size. This is the formula for unequal spheres, which means radius of cations and anions. In exams they will ask that they will give the edge length and they will give the radius of cation, and they will ask the radius of anion in PCC. Okay, you must remember what type of packing it is, otherwise you will definitely get wrong in the examination. Okay, so try to understand in the PCC packing only we are getting this formula of radius of anion plus radius of cation is equal to edge length. You simply put A value if they given and radius of cation value if they given, put it and you will get the radius of anion, right? So this is the way how do we do in the PCC packing. Now when we are designating these atoms, okay, in the previous lecture I said that from the origin like this, so forget it, everything you forgot. Okay, now when you want to designate an atom, okay, when you want to designate an atom, you have to designate in such a way that it is the simplest way from the origin. मतलब बहुत ही simplest route क्या होगा origin से atom जो है इधर तक पहुंचने के लिए. what is the simplest way that the atom is come to this position from the origin? समझ रहे हो, ऑरिजिन से कितना आसान वे है, कितना ईजिएस्ट वे है ऑरिजिन से तो एटम पहुंचने के लिए इस पोजीशन के लिए उसके हिसाब से हम लोग को डिजिग्नेट करना है. ठीक है, फॉर सपोज आई एम सेइंग दैट यू विल अंडरस्टैंड दिस इज द ऑरिजिन, राइट. व्हाट विल बी द सिंपलेस्ट वे, बहुत ही सिंपलेस्ट वे टू कम टू दिस पोजीशन. What is the ways, actually what are the ways that this atom comes to this position? First one, if it start moving like this and it comes towards like this and end it here, okay, because the atom is traveled from the origin to this position. Or it can travel by like this and like this, right. This is the another possible way, and another possible way like this, like this. ओके, सो आउट ऑफ दिस थ्री वेज व्हाट इज द सिंपलेस्ट वे, बहुत ही आसान तरीका है. सो आइदर ट्रैवलिंग लाइक दिस और आइदर ट्रैवलिंग लाइक दिस. द सिंपलेस्ट वे इज दैट इट शुड कम लाइक दिस. इट इज द सिंपलेस्ट वे ना, दैट इज द सिंपलेस्ट वे. सो वी कैन डिजिग्नेट दिस एटम एज इट इज ट्रैवलिंग अलॉन्ग द ए एक्सिस ऑफ यूनिट सेल ना, तो एज लेंथ क्या होगा 1. So it is traveling 1 unit length along a axis, so we will put simply 1 0 0 because it is not traveling either in upward or sidewards, it is just traveling along the a direction. So simple na. Similar way, if you put B, what, how this atom comes to this position? Its simple way is from the origin is this way. So if you traveling like this, if it is traveling along this direction and this direction, it is the biggest route. Or it is traveling this direction, it is the biggest route, and the simplest route is to travel along the b axis of 1 unit length. So the option will be 0 1 0. Simple है. अब third same one, 0 0 1, because it just traveled along the c axis, that is the simplest way. And now if you are taking this, it comes like either come like this, right, along the a axis 1 unit length and along the c axis 1 unit length, it is coming here. Or you can take along this and along this, same thing. It is the simplest way, okay. Otherwise like this, it is a more bigger way. Or you can take anything like this, it is a more bigger way. The simplest thing is just it has to travel 2 times, and other portions like it has to travel 3 times, right. The simplest way is 2 times. So what, so this is traveled along a of 1 unit length, so 1, and it travel along c 1 unit length, so we will put c as 1, and b is 0 because it is not traveled in the b direction, so we will put 1 0 1. आसान है, बहुत सिंपल है, ठीक है ना. अब वैसे ही आप इधर भी देख लो, सी दिस ऑल्सो, इट कैन सिंपल वे इज ट्रैवल अलॉन्ग बी एक्सिस एंड ट्रैवल अलॉन्ग सी एक्सिस, यू विल गेट दिस, राइट. अदरवाइज ट्रैवल अलॉन्ग सी एक्सिस एंड ट्रैवल अलॉन्ग बी एक्सिस, यू विल गेट दिस सिमिलर थिंग. द शॉर्टेस्ट वे इज इफ you are considering this way like this, then what is that? It is traveling along B 1 unit length. So 1 unit length of B, and it is traveling along C axis 1 unit length. So 1. So along A there is no direction, so 0. This is the simplest way, and we get to that this point. Now if this point similar way, we can tell like this one way, or you can write like this another way. So what will be the answer? If it is traveling along A axis, it is 1, and it is traveling along B axis, it is 1. So C axis, no, there is no travel na, it is the base na, so 0. Understand ना, सब simple है ना. हाँ, अब आसान लग रहा है ना. अब this atom, right? Now this atom can be traveled like from the origin. You have to take na, always measure from the origin only. Don't take the top, don't take the sideways. Always measure from the origin, first thing. Okay, many of you make mistakes in that. So always measure from the origin, first thing, and from the origin to this point, how it will get. It is either travel along A axis one direction, and along B and along C you will get it, right? That is the simplest way. You can take any way. Along C axis 1 unit length, along B axis 1 unit length, along A axis 1 unit length. Same thing. So if you are considering this part, it is travelled along A axis 1 unit length, so it will be 1. And it is travelled along B axis 1 unit length, it will be 1. And it travelled along C axis, which is 1. So this is how you have to designate. So you have to find the simplest route, very simplest route from the origin to the position of the atom. So that's all. Now in this, for suppose they given the density, okay, what is the density formula? Mass upon volume. So in this also, like this they will ask also, we will discuss one question on the basis of this. Or another formula for the density is not packing density, okay, not packing density. Packing density formula क्या है? Packing density formula, it will be like Z into effective number of atoms into volume of sphere upon volume of unit cell. This is the actually packing density formula into 100. Okay, I forgot to write, I think into 100 is very important because it comes under the percentage, right? Packing density. So density, if it is not given like that, then density you can write Z effective number of atoms into molar mass upon Avogadro number, which is n, into A cube. A is the edge length. So okay, A is the edge length. For cubic mineral it is A cube. Okay, the volume is A cube. Okay, understanding na? Density is equal to, okay, density is equal to, if the molar mass is given of substance and Avogadro number is given, and the effective number of atoms you have to find out. If they given the density also, if they given the edge length, you can find out the effective number of atoms. If you find out the effective number of atoms, for suppose if you find 4, then effective number of 4 atoms will be of which packing? बताओ, 6 into half plus 8 into 1 by 8, it will be of FCC packing na? Like this. They will ask that effective number of atoms, from that you have to find the packing. So if they given the density and molar mass and Avogadro number and A cube edge length, so you can find out the density like this. If they given, ये रब कर सकता हूँ या नहीं? चलो छोड़ो, इधर लिख लेता हूँ. Density is equal to, if the molecular weight has been given, then how do you calculate it? Z into molecular weight upon A cube. This is the formula when molecular weight is given for a cubic mineral. For suppose if it is of tetragonal, so we know that in the tetragonal system A is equal to B, but A is equal to B but not equal to C. This is for the tetragonal system, right? This is for tetragonal system. What you will do in this? Density is equal to Z into molecular weight upon A square into C. That is the formula for density. So how they will ask is that they will give the edge length A, okay, they will give the edge length C, and they will give the molecular weight, and they will give the effective number of atoms, and they will ask the density, or they can give the density, or they can give the effective number of atoms and molecular weight, and they will give two edge lengths which are equal, and they will ask to find out the third edge length, which is C. So any type of question they will ask, okay, on the basis of this. So you have to be very thoroughly understand the concept, okay, the formulas also. लिख लेता हूँ, Z जो है effective number of atoms, right, N जो है Avogadro number, ठीक है, m is a molar mass, a is edge length. Okay, so these formulas actually are written, and packing density, this is packing density, this has been same thing. Okay, when we find the edge length a, okay, we can easily substitute in this cell. We know the volume of the unit cell is a cube. When we find the value of a from the radius of anion and radius of cation, okay, for suppose radius of anion is 5, radius of anion is 5 and radius of cation is 5. So what you will do, you will have to get the edge length. So a is equal to 5 plus 5, 10. A is equal to 10. Simply put, a is equal to 10 in this formula, volume of the unit cell. Unit cell volume क्या है? A cube. So put this 10 value in this a cube and you will get the packing density like this. So these are the important formulas. Okay, we have to remember it. Okay, understanding now? Now we will discuss FCC packing in cubic mineral. Okay, so FCC में क्या होंगे? कॉर्नर्स में रहेगा, कॉर्नर्स प्लस फेसेस में रहेगा, राइट, 6 फेसेस, कॉर्नर्स में 8. नाउ लेट्स ड्रॉ द डायग्राम which is cubic mineral. Which is like this, and we know the at 8 corners 8 atoms will be present. Suppose this is some atoms. Okay, now at the face, at each face one atom is present, right, like this. Okay, and the atom will be of the bigger size little bit. So okay, this is of this size. Now in the previous case, actually what we consider, it is of equal spheres. What if now they are of unequal sizes? Same concept if it is an anion and if it is an anion and if it is a cation. So how do we find the edge length? Okay, we know these 3 atoms actually touching each other, so we draw a line. Same concept, we draw a line like this. Now in this case, how do you find? If it is A, if it is B, if it is C, when we draw the line, it forms the right angle triangle. If you can see, this is the right angle triangle, right? So apply the Pythagoras theorem. So hypotenuse square upon hypotenuse square is equal to side square plus side square. This is the formula for the right angle triangle, right? So this is the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse square is equal to, this is the side, and we know this side का edge length क्या होगा? We know this side length is A, and we know this side length is A. So what we are getting? Hypotenuse square is equal to, which is A square plus A square, which is 2A square, right? Now when you are joining this hypotenuse, what we are getting? It is a radius of anion, right? And this is the central point, and this is the radius of cation, and this is the radius of cation, ठीक है? And this is the radius of anion. सिंपल कॉन्सेप्ट है, बहुत सिंपल कॉन्सेप्ट है. इक्वल साइज स्फीयर्स के छोड़ के अगर अनइक्वल स्फीयर्स होंगे तो हाउ डू वी कैलकुलेट? ओके, सो रेडियस ऑफ anion plus radius of cation plus radius of cation plus radius of anion होल स्क्वायर. ठीक है ना इधर तक? सो व्हाट वी आर गेटिंग? रेडियस ऑफ anion plus radius of anion it is 2 into radius of anion plus radius of cation plus radius of cation. So 2 into radius of cation is equal to 2a square, whole square you can write, whole square is equal to 2a square. Okay, when we remove the squares, like 2 radius of anion plus 2 radius of cation is equal to root 2a. This is the formula for the edge length in FCC packing. Understand, very important, why I am saying is that in FCC packing only this type of formula will come. 2 into radius of anion plus 2 into radius of cation is equal to root 2a. How this root 2a has come? 2 into radius of anion plus 2 into radius of cation whole square. अब ये जो स्क्वायर जो है इस तरफ होगा तो रूट होगा. When the square comes to this side, it will be root 2a square. Then root 2 a square का रूट क्या होगा? root 2a. ठीक है, बहुत सिंपल है ना. Now we are getting the concept of edge length. So similarly, when you find out the edge length, you are going to put it in the packing density and you will get the same values only. Okay, for the FCC packing. Now when we are like atomic positions, now we have to calculate, right? Atomic positions, like for suppose I am drawing here. So we know that 8 atoms are present at the 8 corners. We leave it. Okay, we just have to find the on the face of the cube, and this atom is present here, this atom is present here, and this atom is present sideways, and this atom is present in the front face, this atom at the top, and this atom at the base. So these are the 6 atoms are present here, right? Now the simplest way from the origin to this position we have to calculate. That is how we designate it. For suppose if this is the origin, right? This is the origin. Now from the origin, the simplest way to get here, how do we get it? If it is this atom travel along this distance and traveled along this distance, you will get, that is the simplest way. Or it should travel like another way, like this, and then it should come there. It is the longest way. So we have to find the simplest way. And the origin, from the origin, when it is travel along C, so we know this is 1 unit length, right? 1 unit length, right? And it is travel half of the length of C axis, and it is traveling along the A axis, which is half of the length of A axis. So how it is designated? Half A into 0, comma 0, half C. This is how we designate it. सिंपल है, ठीक है. अगर ये बेस का देखेंगे, सेम थिंग, it is traveled along A and it is traveling along the B to get into it. This is the simplest possible way. Or it should travel along this B and it should travel like this, and again it is travel. It is the longest way. So the simplest way is this one. So how do we do it? It is travel along A first. So half A. Okay, half A, comma. It is traveling along B, which is half distance, half B. Then along C it is 0. Understand? Simple, right? Now for the top of the atom. Okay, top of the atom, just try to pause the video and try to find the designation. So first, from the origin to come into this position, how it will get? First it should travel the height of this along C axis. It travel the 1 unit length, and then it can travel along A, okay, and then it travel along B to get into it. This is the way, na? First, second, third it will get. Or it can 1, 2 along B it traveled and it come along A. दोनों सिमिलर वे से, बट तरीका अलग है. मतलब फर्स्ट इट इज ट्रैवल अलॉन्ग दिस, it will be same, it will be also same. So how do we designate it? The shortest way, it travel along C axis 1 unit length. So you put the C value 1 first. Remember, first put the value 1 because it is travel 1 unit length, so it must be 1. Okay, then it is travel along A with a half unit length, half of A, right? And then it travel along B, so it is half of B, which is 1. So like this you can calculate. If you take this this atom, this face, if you are taking the cube, this face, if this is a cube and you are taking this atom, this face, and we are measuring from the origin here, okay? Now it is traveled along B axis. If this is the face, it is traveled along B axis, so put the value B1. Now to get into this position, it traveled along C, which is half unit length, so put the value half C. And it traveled along A distance, okay? First one along B, it traveled 1 unit length, we put the value 1. And it is traveling along C, half C, and it is traveling along A, which is half distance of A. This is the value of this atom designated. Understanding na everything? Now if I ask you the question, this atom, I said 1/8 is contributing. I said corner atom is actually contributing 1/8 portion. Why? How you said it is contributing 1/8? Do you know? In 12th class actually this type of concept has been told. That's why yesterday in the previous lecture I didn't tell. So how 1/8? For suppose if this is the sphere, right? Okay, take it as a sphere. For suppose this is the sphere, okay, which is present at the corner. Now if you cut this into half, or you can cut like this. If you cut it half, why we are cutting? Because it is of cubic mineral. First we are cutting along. For suppose this is the cubic mineral. If the atom is present here, okay, what will happen? It will cut along this axis, it will cut along this axis, it will cut along this axis. समझ रहे हो ना? अगर एटम है, अगर इस कॉर्नर में है, दिस एट द प्रेजेंट एट द कॉर्नर, when it is in the cubic mineral, if it is sharing, it should be cut by 3 axes, right? One along this direction, one along this direction, one along this direction, okay? So when this sphere cut into half, first half like this, so what happens? This atom is cut into half, ठीक है? One atom of sphere, okay, one atom you can write. When it is cut into half, it will become 1/2 because it is half atom. Now we are cutting along this direction because cubic has 3 faces, na? I normally said. Now we are cutting along this direction, then it will become 1/4, right? And now we are cutting in this direction also, then we are getting 1/8. Understand na? These things I think you know that, because in the cube it is present at the corner, it should be cut like this, and it should be cut like this, and it should be cut like this. So when 3 times you cut the sphere, it will become 1/2 first thing, and 1/4 and 1/8. That's why each atom contributes 1/8. Okay, just for the knowledge I am saying, because these things you have to remember. That's why I am trying to say again and again. And for suppose this atom, okay, if this sphere constitutes at the top, if the sphere constitutes at the top, what happens? You have to cut by only one axis. There is no need of remaining 2. You should have to cut one axis. So what happens? It will become, it is contributing half. And if you cut this also, if sphere is present here, if it is cutting like this, then half of the atom is present. So this atom contributing half, and there in like that we have 6 faces in 6 atoms, so it is contributing 6 into half. So 8 into 1/8 plus 6 into 1/2, it is giving 4 effective number of atoms. Okay, in the BC also same. In that BC, internal sphere is present, so there is no cutting on it. So it is simply written as 8 into 1/8 plus 6, 1 atom. You can simply write 2 in BCC. In FCC. Understanding na? Atomic positions, the simplest way how do you get? So you are understanding everything. If I ask you, try to find out the Miller indices for this. For this phase, what is the Miller index? For this phase, what will be the Miller index? For this phase, what will be the Miller indices? Now what you will do for Miller indices, and we know that if these designations, or if you know that these intercept, the simplest way to do Miller indices is it's reciprocal, right? For suppose I am taking this atom, okay, I am taking this atom 1 by 2 A, 0, 1 by 2 C. What is the reciprocal of this? If you take 1 by 2, okay, upon 1 by 0 and 1 by 2 of C. So what will be the values? 2, right? It will become 2 upon 2C. These are the values. So Miller index can come like 2, 0, 2, or like this it will come 2, 0, 2, or you can write, for suppose if you are taking this, what will be the Miller indices for this phase? If you reciprocal it, 1 by 2, 1 upon 1 by 2, right? Upon 1 by 2, comma 1 upon 1. For this form we reciprocal it na, for the Miller indices. When we do 1 upon 1 by 2, 1 upon 1 by 2, 1 upon 1. So what we will get? We will get 2A, comma 2B, comma 1. These are the Miller indices. So we are getting phases like 2, 2, 1. It will also come like 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, like this. Different types of Miller indices, matlab values of Miller indices will come. Okay, for the phase centered, because it is when divided into 1 by 2, like when it is divided into equal lengths, so the values can come like this. Okay, for this it is like similar values. If you take the any type of PCC, it is either 1 0 0 or 0 1 0, 0 1 1 1 1. It is like simple values it will come. For suppose 1 1 1, okay, if it is present here, sorry, if it is present here, so what you will get? 1 1 1. If you reciprocal it, then also 1 1 1. Same thing, Miller index will be same for this form. And if it is A, 1 0 0, if you reciprocal it, 1 0 0, same thing. The values which are been there, the same values will come for the Miller indices also, but the phase, the different values will come 2 2 1, 1 1 2, 1 3 1, like this. Okay, this is about the FCC packing in cubic minerals. Now let's discuss BCC packing in mineral. BCC packing में क्या होंगे? Corners plus body. Body में एक atom present होंगे. There is one atom present in the body. So how you will draw the diagram? Like this cube, right? So at the corners we are atom, okay, and at the body, for suppose this is cation which is present at the body, and the anion is like this. Okay, these three are actually touching. So when you draw a line which is joining this thing, it will be like this, and you consider it as a B, C and D. समझ रहे हो ना? ये anion है, this is anion, this is cation and this is anion. The radius of anion is radius of anion. Radius of cation will be, this will be radius of cation and this will be radius of cation, and this is the radius of anion. Simple है. Now this is the right angle triangle, and right angle triangle का क्या फॉर्मूला होंगे? हाइपोटेन्यूज स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू साइड स्क्वायर प्लस साइड स्क्वायर. In this hypotenuse is this one, right, and side square is AC. Okay, this is side square. For example, we are putting x, and this one we know this as edge length A and we know this as edge length A. ठीक है. अब for this, Okay, triangle ADC, triangle ADC, triangle ADC, we are getting hypotenuse square is equal to side square plus side square. So in this side is actually x, right? This is the side, x square, plus in this side square is a square, because side length is a na, so side square will be a square, so hypotenuse square. So we know that hypotenuse will be radius of anion plus radius of cation plus radius of cation plus radius of anion. So how will you write? Radius of anion plus radius of cation plus radius of cation plus radius of anion is equal to x square plus a square. Okay, so how will you write? 2 into radius of anion plus 2 into radius of cation is equal to x square plus a square. We have to find x. And how will you find x? For suppose it is also a right angle triangle. Okay, and we know the edge length a. So if you are continuing triangle ACB, what you will get? This is the hypotenuse. So we will draw here like AC, and you are drawing like this, AB plus BC. So this is the right angle triangle, and we know this is the x, and we know this is a, and we know this is a, right? This is a and this is a, we are putting a. So x square is equal to a square plus a square, which is x square is equal to 2a square. We put this x square on this, so what you will get? 2 into radius of anion plus 2 into radius of cation is equal to 2a square plus a square. ठीक है, this will be this, sorry, in this whole square will be present. So this will be the whole square, because hypotenuse square na, we will get the hypotenuse radius of anion plus radius of cation plus radius of cation plus radius of anion. We have to whole square this, and we are getting whole square of 2 into radius of anion plus 2 into radius of cation whole square. So here also whole square. Okay, so 2 into radius of anion plus 2 into radius of cation whole square is equal to 3a square, and 2 into radius of anion plus 2 into radius of cation will be root 3a. This is the formula, okay, for BCC packing. So many times, so many questions has been asked from this type of formula and FCC packing. They simply give radius of anion and they will give the edge length, and they will want to find out the radius of cation. In this situation, if they given radius of anion, we have to multiply with 2 into radius of anion plus 2 into radius of cation is equal to root 3 is equal to edge length. Okay, so they will give only one radius of anion, so we have to multiply it to 2, and they will give the radius of cation, we have to multiply into 2 and root 3a. So this is the formula for BCC packing. Okay, in this actually what happens is that X-ray diffraction peaks होंगे ना, X-ray diffraction peaks in BCC. When BCC crystal is present, X-ray diffraction peaks goes systematic extinctions होंगे. इस packing में X-ray diffraction goes systematic extinction. Systematic extinction. It goes systematic extinction. That's why it has few diffraction lines than primitive ones. Few diffraction lines than primitive, मतलब PC से भी कम होंगे. Below the PCC, मतलब PCC का जो diffraction peaks होंगे उससे भी कम होंगे BCC का, because it undergoes systematic extinction. So this is one of the point. Now if you remember the Pauling's rule, I used to tell that the radius ratio, limiting ratio like this. For suppose less than 0.155, the coordination number will be 2, or 0.155 to 0.225, it will be 3. You remember that in the Pauling's rule? याद रखे होंगे ना? So if you want to calculate this also, how this limiting ratio will come, you can calculate it, because मैं थोड़ा नॉलेज देना चाहता है, मतलब रट्टा ना मारे, ठीक है. फॉर सपोज इफ यू टेक एनी ट्राइंगल, ओके, ट्राइंगल फॉर सपोज coordination number of 3, okay, coordination number of 3 means cation is surrounded by 3 anions, right? Right, and this is the cation, this will be the cation. Now how do you find the limiting ratio? We will find this is 0.15. How do we find is that, for suppose consider the whole length of radius of anion, which you can take diameter as a 1, assume it is a 1, diameter is 1 for the anion, assume, okay, first assume it, this is 1, and this is also the whole thing is 1, okay, and this is also the whole thing is 1, okay, and assume this has a diameter of x. कैटायन का जो डायमीटर होंगे वो x मान लो, और बाकी जितने भी डायमीटर्स ऑफ एनायन होंगे वो 1 यूनिट लेंथ मान लो. एनायन डायमीटर is 1 and cation diameter will be x. Now if you draw from the center, okay, if you draw from the center like this, draw from the center like this, we know it is forming an equilateral triangle, right? In the threefold coordination I used to tell that it is a threefold triangle, like this it will form, right? So it is forming a, when we are joining through the centers of the anions which is surrounding the cation, so when we surround it, it is forming an equilateral triangle. And we know that in equilateral triangle some of the angles will be 180 and each angle is 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees, right? We know that sum of the triangles is 180 degrees. In equilateral triangle, each side, at each point it will make equally na 60 degrees plus 60 degrees plus 60 degrees, 60 degrees plus 60 degrees, right? Now if it is making also 60 degrees, then what will be this one? What will be this one? Because it is total making 60, but in this it is only half na, 30 only na. समझ रहे हो? 3 anions जो है एक cation का सराउंड किया, and we are assuming anion's diameter as 1 and cation diameter is x, okay. If you write like this, it can be called, this is also diameter, right? This is the diameter of the cation, so the diameter of cation is x, and if you are joining the centers of the anion, it is forming an equilateral triangle. And we know that in equilateral triangle each angle is 60 degrees, and we want only half angle, which is like this. We want to take this angle only, like this you will take, ठीक है? Just you have to take this small triangle, okay. Now if you take cos 30, if you take cos 30, what will be the value of cos 30? Which is adjacent side upon hypotenuse, sorry, adjacent side upon hypotenuse, right? If you take A, B, C, cos 30 is equal to, adjacent side will be AB, hypotenuse will be AC, right? समझ आ रहा है ना अच्छे से? When you take AB, what will be the value? If it is the radius of anion, it will be 1 by 2, because the whole anion diameter is 1, right? Total anion diameter will be 1, and if you are taking only half, it will become half. So what you will put? Half. upon, okay, half upon this one. Hypotenuse will be how much? Hypotenuse will be this half plus x by 2, because if you elaborate this triangle, right, this portion actually contributing by cation which has a x by 2 value, and this atom actually contributing by anion, this portion actually contributing by anion which is half, okay, and this portion is contributing by cation which will be x by 2, because whole diameter is x. When we take half, it will be x by 2. So what will be the hypotenuse? X by 2 plus 1 by 2. Okay, when you solve this, you will get the value of 0.155. Sir, you can ask that, sir, this x actually is a diameter of the cation. How can it will be said as a radius ratio, like radius of cation upon radius of anion? How it will be equal, right? Now you have a good question, right? Because we are making just cos 30 ले रहे, cos 30 लेके adjacent side upon hypotenuse side. This is the hypotenuse, right? In this portion is contributing by the cation which is x by 2, okay, and this portion is contributing by the radius of anion which is 1 by 2. That's why we are putting x by 2 plus 1 by 2 in the hypotenuse portion, and adjacent side is this only, and 1 by 2. If you solve it, you will definitely get in the range of x is equal to 0.155. And if you have the question how this x is equal to radius of cation by upon radius of anion, that is the doubt, right? If the radius of anion, what will be the radius of anion? If the diameter of the anion is 1 and radius of anion will be 1 by 2, right? Radius of anion will be 1 by 2 because the diameter of anion is 1, so radius of anion is 1 by 2. Now radius of cation, right? Radius of the cation will be x by 2 because the whole diameter is x, na? Cation diameter is x and radius of cation will be x by 2. So you will put x by 2. So what will happen? 2 cancel. So x is equal to, which is radius of cation upon radius of anion, is equal to 0.155. This is the lower limit for threefold coordination. You understand, na? We are getting the value of x. How it will be equal to radius of cation upon radius of anion? We just simply write radius of cation is equal to x by 2 and radius of anion is equal to 1 by 2. So if both are cancelled, we are getting only x, which is x is equal to 0.155, and it is the lower limit for the threefold coordination. And if you do it for fourfold coordination, the lower limit will come up to 0.225. So from 0.155 to the lower limit of the fourfold coordination, it shows the three coordination number, which means cation is surrounded by 3 anions. So you are understanding the conceptual things, na? Okay, no need of by hearting everything. So I want to clarify the concepts. Okay, let's make some questions also. Now let's solve some assignment questions. First one is, a cubic mineral Mx has unit cell dimensions of edge length 5 angstrom units, which is saying that a cubic mineral Mx is present in the unit cell which has a unit cell dimension of 5 angstrom units. Okay, so for suppose this is the unit cell. Okay, in this the atom Mx is present. Mx is combined to form the atom. Okay, and this has the edge length of 5 angstrom units. That it is saying. Now they are asking that which of the following unit cell is true if mass of M is 4 into 10 to the power of minus 23 grams and mass of X is 6 into 10 to the power of minus 23 grams and density of Mx is 3.2 gram per cc. थोड़ा हल्का सा ट्रिकी लग रहा है ना, ठीक है, बट आसान है. If you solve this, it will be very easy. So basically what we have to tell? We have to tell the unit cell which is primitive, phase, body, C-centered. Always when you are attempting the question, try to think about what they are asking first and what are the dimensions we have to find. Now in this case they are asking about, we have to tell only unit cell is either primitive, FCC, body centered or C centered. So how can we tell the unit cell is PCC, FCC, BCC? On the basis of effective number of atoms, because if the unit cell contains only one effective atom, so it is PCC. If it is 4 effective atoms, then FCC. If 2 effective atoms, it is BCC. So like this we have to tell on the basis of effective number of atoms, we have to tell the unit cell, right? Now what they are giving, mass are given of mx and they given density. So let's apply the formula of density, right? It is given density is equal to what we know, simple, mass upon volume. So density of mx is equal to mass of mx and volume of mx, right? So we given 3.2 gram per cc, right? Gram per cc, and mass has given as m has a mass of 4 into 10 to the power of minus 23 grams, and mass of x is 6 into 10 to the power of minus 23 grams upon volume will be, we don't know. So we have to write volume of the cubic mineral as mx, volume of mx. Now we can find the volume of mx by, if you take down this value to here and put this value to here, so you will find out 10 to the power of minus 23 grams को कॉमन लेंगे तो 4 plus 6 upon 3.2 gram per cc, which will give volume is equal to 10 into 10 to the power of minus 23, right? 10, 4 plus 6 is equal to 10 into 10 to the power of minus 23 grams upon 3.2 gram per cc, right? ग्राम कैंसिल हो गया, ठीक है. उसके बाद 10 to the power of minus 22 upon the cc will go up and 3.2 value. So what will be the value of 10 to the power of minus 22 upon 3.2? It has value of 0.3125 into 10 to the power of minus 22 cc. This is the volume of mx, means it is a volume of mineral atom. Now what will be the volume of unit cell? You can calculate the volume of unit cell considering it is a cubic mineral, A cube. So A cube is 5 angstroms unit whole cube. What is the angstrom? It is equal to 10 to the power of minus 10 meters, right? 1 angstrom is equal to 10 to the power of minus 10 meters, but we have the volume in cc, centimeter cube. So we have to convert this angstrom unit into cc. So what we will do? First thing, 5 cube is 125, right? Now angstrom whole cube. Now we know 125 into 1 angstrom is equal to 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeter. 10 to the power of minus 8 centimeter whole cube. What we will get? We will get 125 into 10 to the power of minus 24 cc. This is the volume of unit cell. Okay. Now if we divide the volume of unit cell by volume of mineral atom, volume of unit cell upon volume of mineral atom, which is mx. So why we are dividing this? Because in this unit cell a mineral mx forming the atom, right? If this atom occupies something x volume, which is actually derived something x volume, and this volume of the unit cell is something y volume, so how much volume of x is required to fill the remaining volume of unit cell is calculated by dividing the ratio. By means, if the volume of unit cell is how much? 125 into 10 to the power of minus 24 cc. This is the volume of the unit cell, and volume of the atom is, it is just 0.3125 into 10 to the power of minus 22 cc, right? If you solve this, it will give 400 and it is 400 into 10 to the power of minus 2 cc. So you will write 4 cc cancel, sorry. So 4 means 4 atoms of mx is required to fill the entire volume of unit cell. Means we are getting 4 effective atoms to completely fill this unit cell. That's why we are dividing it. समझ रहे हो ना? ठीक हो, देखो यार, यूनिट सेल है, यूनिट सेल के अंदर एक एटम है, उसको वॉल्यूम पता है हमको, ठीक है, और इसका भी वॉल्यूम पता है यूनिट सेल को. क्या करेंगे, अगर हम इन दोनों वॉल्यूम को डिवाइड करेंगे, कितना नंबर एटम्स चाहिए पूरा इस वॉल्यूम को फिल कर सके, उसी को हम बोलेंगे इफेक्टिव नंबर ऑफ एटम्स. ओके, now that's why we are dividing volume of the unit upon volume of mx. We are getting, when we are dividing these volumes, what we are getting, 4. It is like we required 4 atoms of mx to completely fill the volume of unit cell. So if you are getting the 4 effective atoms, then what will be the answer? It is FCC, right? Because FCC has 8 corners में 8 atoms है, तो 8 into 1/8 हो जाएगा, तो 1 atom plus सब फेसेस में एक एक एटम है, so 6 into half contribution, it will be 3, total 4 plus 3, total 4. So it will be FCC packing. The unit cell is FCC. बहुत ही सिंपल है, जस्ट आपको डेंसिटी जैसे बोला डेंसिटी, so just write the formula of density, then you will find the formula of volume of the mx. Now if you are getting the volume of mx and we are getting also volume of that unit cell, so just simply divide on it. So any question if you want to solve, first try different methods and then discuss with friends, and then you have to ask any type of sirs so that they can tell. Because if you are discussing, if you are trying different methods, you are going to learn very so many concepts, so many different types of concepts. So the next question is, what is the maximum order of X-ray diffraction possible from 1-to-1 plane of a crystal having d spacing of 3.8 angstrom and wavelength of X-ray is 1.54 angstroms? Okay, the simple thing, when we see the X-ray diffraction and this type of wavelength, d spacing, we got to know only one formula, that is n lambda is equal to 2d sin theta. And another formula for d is that 1 by d square is equal to h square upon a square plus k square upon b square plus c square upon, sorry, l square upon c square. This is the basic formula. If it is a cubic mineral, so all the lengths are equal. You can put in the place of b you can put a, in the place of c you can put a, and the formula will become d is equal to a upon root h square plus k square plus l square. So these are actually two formulas. Now we will see what they ask in the question. Okay, first of all, what is the maximum order of X-ray diffraction possible from the plane of crystal having d spacing? So let's try to put the formula in this, put the values in this. So when will be the maximum order of X-ray diffraction possible? When n is the maximum order of diffraction, right? N is the maximum order of diffraction, sorry, maximum order nahi, order of diffraction, right? So when it will be the maximum, when it will be the n will be the maximum, when sin theta is equal to 1, which is the maximum value of sin theta. When sin theta equals to 1, it gives the maximum value of order of diffraction, right? Obviously n is directly proportional to the theta. If sin theta value is high at the maximum limit, so obviously order of diffraction will be possible. So the question, this formula becomes n lambda is equal to simple 2d. Then only the maximum order of diffraction possible na. Otherwise it would not be possible na. If you put instead of sin theta 1, if you put any lower value than 1, then obviously maximum order of diffraction is not possible. So it should be sin theta must be equal to 1. So we have to just apply some logics. You have to understand the question very well. If you understand the maximum concept here, and you can easily remove sin theta. just try to read the question 3-4 times and attempt various atoms you have to try. So when you see the maximum, so it should be 1. So we get the formula of n lambda is equal to 2d. So we get the d spacing which is 3.8 angstrom and put it the values. N is equal to wavelength कितना दिया था 1.454 एंगस्ट्रॉम्स इज इक्वल टू 2 इंटू डी स्पेसिंग कितना था 3.8 एंगस्ट्रॉम्स. n is equal to 7.6 upon 1.54 एंगस्ट्रॉम्स. ये कैलकुलेट करेगा तो आपको आएगा 4.93. This is the order of diffraction. Okay, maximum order of diffraction. So these type of questions will be asked. So try to understand the concepts and try to think over and over time about the question and what they are asking, and especially units are very important in every question. Okay, so let's start crystallography. So what is crystallography? It is study of crystalline solids and the principles which govern their growth, external shape and internal structure. This is what is crystallography. Now first define what is crystal. क्या होगा definition? What is the definition of a crystal? It is solid geometric figure which is bounded by more or less planar surfaces which we call as faces. For suppose if I am taking this, okay, it is having a geometric figure like cube and it is bounded by planar surfaces which we call as faces, right? So it is a crystal. Solid geometric figure bounded by So what are the general characteristics of a crystal? बताओ क्या होगा characteristics? First one is crystals are polyhedral bodies. So what are polyhedral bodies? It contains many sides or faces. If you take that crystal, cubic crystal, it has many sides and many faces. So it is considered as polyhedral bodies. And the second point is internal atomic arrangement. Second one is internal atomic arrangement. Because of this internal atomic arrangement, accordingly, faces are arranged in regular pattern. So if you take this crystal, right, if you are seeing these blocks, this is the smallest block that is repeated to form this crystal. We consider this smallest part as a unit cell. Okay, in this unit cell there are atoms present in it. So these atoms are arranged in a regular geometric way to form this crystal. That is what internal atomic arrangement. And accordingly, faces are arranged in a regular pattern, which means in this you can see this unit cell, and parallel to this unit cell the faces are developed. And in some other crystals you can see their faces are also developed diagonally also. So it is basically dependent on the internal atomic arrangement, right? Now let's discuss third point, which is regular geometric form dependent on physiochemical conditions. So if you take two crystals, for suppose like this, one is cube and one is sphere. So this crystal can be formed under different physiochemical condition than this. it can be formed at some other temperature, and this cube can be formed at some other temperature. So the regular geometry, it depends on the physiochemical conditions, and usually crystals are formed under slow cooling. Now, if the crystal has well developed internal structure and as well as outer expression also, ठीक है, for suppose if you are taking this cube, it has a well ordered internal atomic structure and as well as outer expression also. This is called as a perfect crystal. The crystal possesses well developed internal structure as well as outer expression also. What you call? It is a perfect crystal. First, suppose if the crystal has well developed internal structure, बहुत ही well developed internal arrangement है, but it does not contain well outer expression, what you call? बताओ. Crystal possess well developed internal structure, not outer expression. You call them as crystalline. Okay. Those crystals which only possess this internal structure and does not contain well developed outer expression, those are called crystalline. If the crystals do not contain this internal structure and as well as outer expression, what you call? You call them as amorphous. And naturally occurring amorphous substance, what you call them as? Mineraloids. You can call them as mineraloids under naturally occurring. Now, if the crystal possesses a very well developed smooth planar faces, it is called a euhedral crystal. If the crystal possesses well developed faces, what you call the crystal? As euhedral. And if it is imperfectly developed faces, what you call? These things actually you know very well. Subhedral. And it does not contain well developed faces, you can call them as anhedral. Not well developed faces, you can call them as anhedral. Now, if the crystals are so fine, कोई भी क्रिस्टल बहुत ही छोटे, बहुत ही फाइन है, and that their crystalline nature can only be recognized by the microscope. सिर्फ माइक्रोस्कोप की थ्रू हम उस क्रिस्टलाइन नेचर को हम पता कर पा रहे हैं, तो उसको बोलेंगे माइक्रो क्रिस्टलाइन. If the crystal are so fine and their crystalline nature aided by microscope, we call them as microcrystalline. समझ रहे हो ना? अगर क्रिस्टल बहुत ही छोटा है एंड वी कैन यूज द माइक्रोस्कोप टू अंडरस्टैंड द क्रिस्टलाइन नेचर, सो दोज क्रिस्टलाइन सब्सटेंसेस आर कॉल्ड माइक्रोक्रिस्टलाइन. इफ द aggregate of crystals are so fine and the individual crystal cannot be resolved by using microscope and we can only detect it by X-ray diffraction, then you can call it as a क्रिप्टोक्रिस्टलाइन। इफ एग्रीगेट ऑफ क्रिस्टल जो है बहुत ही फाइन है, अगर उसमें से इंडिविजुअल क्रिस्टल हम देखना चाहता है या क्रिस्टलाइन नेचर पता करना चाहता है, वो एक्सरे डायफ्रैक्शन के थ्रू हो पा रहा है, तो उसको हम बोलेंगे क्रिप्टोक्रिस्टलाइन। इफ द एग्रीगेट ऑफ क्रिस्टल्स आर सो फाइन, बहुत ही फाइन है, एंड द इंडिविजुअल क्रिस्टल cannot be resolved by microscope, individual crystal cannot be resolved by microscope also, but can be detected by X-ray diffraction technique. But if it is detected by X-ray diffraction technique, it is called cryptocrystalline. Understood na? If the crystalline nature can be aided by microscope, these substances are called microcrystalline. If the crystalline nature can be aided by X-ray diffraction technique, those are called cryptocrystalline. And the crystal is basically two types. What is that crystal? Two types. One is isotropic, second one is anisotropic. What is isotropic? It is independent of direction. What is anisotropic? It is dependent on direction. If the crystal is dependent on the direction, you can call it as a anisotropic crystal. If crystal does not depend on the direction, you can call it as a isotropic crystal. Which means dependent on the direction means on different direction we can see different properties of a crystal. For suppose bonding, what it happens is that if bonding is different in different direction, we get different values like properties like hardness or cleavage. Like this you can observe. Now we will discuss components of a crystal. What will be the components of a crystal? What are the obvious things do you observe when you see the crystal? For suppose if you are seeing the crystal, what are the obvious things do you observe? First thing you observe, it is face, right? So face is a component of crystal. So this phase is an external expression of internal atomic planes. If the internal atomic planes are arranged like this, okay, so parallel to this the phase has been arranged. In this the atomic planes are arranged like this, so the phase is arranged like this. If these atomic planes are arranged in diagonal way, so the phase can appear also in diagonal way. We will see by example. For suppose this is the first case, right? In this actually the atomic planes are arranged in that way, okay, so the phase is developed here. And if you see the this way in which the atomic planes are arranged diagonally, okay, in this the atomic planes are like this, okay, diagonally, so the phase is developed according to that, right? So it is basically dependent on internal atomic planes, and these phases are said to be like, or you can say like phases, when they show similar properties. When they said unlike phases, when they show dissimilar properties. Now what will be the second obvious thing do you observe apart from phase? It is the edge, which is the intersection between two phases, right? So edge is also a component of a crystal. Now the third thing is where the three faces are meeting. This is the point, this is one of the point. So this point we call as a solid angle. Now the fourth one is form. Form actually as a represented as a outward appearance of a crystal, but in the crystallography it is used for a restricted purpose which we call as a group of crystal faces. जनरली हम फॉर्म को आउटवर्ड अपीयरेंस के लिए बोलते हैं, जैसे क्यूबिक फॉर्म, हेक्सागोनल फॉर्म ऐसे, बट क्रिस्टलोग्राफी का जब बात आता है इट हैज़ ए प्रॉपर डेफिनेशन लाइक group of crystal faces, or you can say group of faces which are related by symmetry and also showing physical and chemical characteristics same. Okay, we will understand the term symmetry. Okay, because of after understanding the symmetry only we can go through that. Now what is symmetry? Symmetry is a relationship between parts of the entity. For suppose if this is a crystal, if you divide it into two parts, if you put a mirror in this, when you dividing into two halves, if you put the mirror in this, what will be looking like that? These two parts become mirror images to each other, right? So if you are putting a plane of mirror, or you can say plane of symmetry, if this face, when I am rotating 90 degrees, this face is again repeating here. When again rotating 90 degrees, this face appears here like this. When you are rotating through an axis of symmetry, or you can say any type of rotation axis, this face is repeating along the different parts of the crystal. So these are some symmetries. Okay, we will see what are the symmetry operations or what are the types of symmetry present. So symmetry में first thing plane of symmetry, which you can say mirror plane. Okay, second one is axis of symmetry, which you can say rotation axis. Third one is center of symmetry, which you can say inversion. Fourth one is combination, you can say combination, which is roto inversion, in which the combination involves the rotation and center of symmetry. These are the four types of symmetry, in which the basics are three, because it is a combination of axis of symmetry and center of symmetry. Now let's discuss one by one. First one is plane of symmetry, or you can say mirror plane. This is generated by symmetry operation, we call it as symmetry operation, which is reflection. For suppose if this is the reflection of this, okay, for suppose if you take this only, both are blue, assume it, if this is the reflection of this, so what it is producing? They are producing mirror images to each other. So from along this there is an imaginary plane which is producing, which shows the mirror images to each other. So this imaginary plane we call it as a mirror plane. So mirror plane, it is an imaginary plane that divides, or you can produces mirror images to each other. Or you can say, in a well developed crystal like this, if you put the mirror plane along this one, if you put the mirror plane along this, it divides the crystal into two equal halves. You can also say like that. So it is a plane that dividing the crystal into two equal halves. If you can put the mirror plane like this, then also it can divide into two equal halves. Now, for suppose if you take two hands like this, or you can say like hands like this, what it is showing? It is like mirror images to each other. So if you put the mirror plane, it is like a reflection to both of the hands, right? It will be the reflection. If you put the mirror plane, it is dividing into two mirror images. Now if you superimpose these two hands like this, it will be same or not? It is not, because you can see the difference. In this, it is showing here, thumbnail is showing this direction and thumbnail is showing in this direction. So if you are superimposing, so these are not the same faces. So that's why these are called enantiomorphic pairs. Okay, these are related by mirror, okay, but they are not showing the same face. Those are called enantiomorphic pairs. Now we will discuss another thing, that is axis of symmetry, or you can say rotation axis. This symmetry actually related to a line which is called rotation axis. Related to line which we call as a rotation axis. So it is also an imaginary line. For suppose if you take the crystal, okay, take the crystal and this is the rotation axis. If you rotate the crystal like 90 degrees along this axis, if you are rotating 90 degrees, what will happen? So this face will appear here. When again you are rotating, it will appear here, and again you are rotating, it will appear here, and again you are rotating, it will appear here. So rotation axis is an imaginary line. When you are rotating along it, a motif can be rotated and repeated like one time or two times or three times or four times or six times during complete 360 degrees of rotation. Okay, it is like when rotating a motif along a rotation axis, it can be repeated one time or two times, three times, four times and six times during 360 degrees of rotation, right? For suppose if you take a lens shape, okay, and this is the rotation axis. After rotating 180 degrees, you will see the same motif here, or you can see the same face here. So when you do the complete 360 degrees of rotation, how many times this face is repeated? Two times. First one this and again this. So you can write the axis of symmetry like 360 upon theta. Theta is the angle at which same face appears. In this case, after rotating 180 degrees, we are getting the same face. So if you put the value 360 upon 180, you will get 2, which means during the complete 360 degrees of rotation, you are getting the same face by two times, first one and second one. Okay, if you take the triangle also, After rotating 60 degrees, 120 degrees, sorry, after rotating 120 degrees, you will getting the same face. If you rotate 120 degrees, it will come face like this, again like this, again like this. The same face is rotating, so it gives the threefold symmetry because it is repeating during complete rotation. It is producing 3 times. Now like that you can calculate for everything up to 4, 6, these values will come. Okay, 180 360 upon 6, it will give 60 degrees of rotation. We can get the same phase, but there are some exceptions, like 5-fold symmetry and 7-fold and higher symmetries are not possible. Not possible. Why? Because when the 5-fold symmetry appears, it forms gaps between them. For suppose it is some pentagonal shape like this, if you design it, it will produce some gaps. I am not exactly drawing some pentagonal shape, but it produces the gaps like this. Okay, it produces the gaps like this, but these gaps actually not tend to occur in crystal. Crystal में ऐसे gaps produce नहीं होंगे, but when you are doing 5-fold and 7-fold and higher fold symmetries, these gaps are appearing. So that's why these type of combinations are not possible. Now continuing with the axis of rotation, try to solve this question. For a cube, what are the possible axes of symmetry? If the options are given like 4-fold, B 2 and 3-fold, and C 4 and 2 and 3-fold, and D 4 and 6-fold. So how do we going to answer this question? So what will be the answer? As we know, cube, when we rotate 90 degrees, we will find a same face. So you can put the answer like 360 upon every 90 degrees rotation you are getting, right? So it will be 4. So the cube has 4-fold symmetry. So what will be the answer? 4. Right na? Right na? 4-fold symmetry. It is wrong, because I am asking what are the possible axes of symmetry. Okay, in the cube we will get 2 and 3-fold symmetry also. So the correct answer will be this. If you assume the cube, if you take the cube, of course we are rotating in 90 degrees, we are getting the same phase. So we are getting 4-fold symmetry. Other than that, if you rotate along this axis, if you rotate 180 degrees like this, after 180 degrees rotation, we will getting the same phase. So the cube has 2-fold symmetry also. Now 3-fold, you have to little bit imagine. For suppose cube has diagonal, right? From this corner to this corner, from this corner to this corner, there is a diagonal. If you imagine it, like if you draw, there is one diagonal which is from the one side to another point. So along the diagonal, if you rotate like this, along the diagonal you have to take like this. If you rotate the crystal 120 degrees, if you rotate the crystal 120 degrees, okay, like this, you will get the same face or same part of the crystal. So the cube contains 4-fold symmetry, 2-fold symmetry, 3-fold symmetry also. So the correct answer will be C. But when we are writing the 4-fold symmetry mainly, it is actually the highest possible axis of symmetry possible for a cube, because 6-fold symmetry is not possible for a cube. The highest possible axis of symmetry possible for a cube is 4-fold. That's why when we are writing about axis of symmetry, we have to write the highest possible axis of symmetry, which is 4-fold. When they are asking the possible axis of symmetry, we have to take the answer 4, 2 and 3. Okay. Now the maximum number of axes of symmetry possible for the crystal are, the maximum number of axes of symmetry, which is कुछ भी हो सकता है, 4-fold हो सकता है, 3-fold हो सकते हैं, 2-fold भी हो सकता है, like that, 6-fold भी हो सकता है. The maximum number of axes of symmetry possible for a crystal R, for a crystal class will be 13, which is for isometric. In the isometric system, we will get 13 axes of symmetry. It can be 4-fold, 3-fold, 2-fold. On different position, different axes they are situated, and they are producing 13 axes of symmetry. So let's move into third one, which is center of symmetry. Which we also call inversion, or we can represent by I. Okay. What it does is that it produces an inverted, inverted PDF or inverted motif. For suppose take B. Okay. Due to inversion center, it produces an inverted object. What it produces like this. If you take the motif, it produces the inverted one like this. Like that, it produces inverted object or motif. But when you draw a line from this point, or you can draw every line from any on the point on this object, if you draw the line from these two through the inversion center, through other side of the inversion center, the distance between these, from this point to this, and the distance from the inversion center to this point, which are same, have an equal distance. If it got the x distance, and it will be the x distance. So the imaginary lines which are drawn from the object through this inversion center, which has an equal distance from the, and the distance between this and this will be equal. When you are drawing the line from any point, you can take any point, you can take this point also. When you are drawing through the inversion center, when it touches the same point, when it touches the same point, it covers an equal distance, right? For suppose if you take any crystal which is like this, if it is got this edge and this is the center of symmetry, when you are drawing the line at an equal distance from the center of symmetry, we are getting the same face repeated, or you can say edge repeated, or like that. Same face, same edge, same solid angle is repeated through inversion center. This is the center of inversion, or you can say center of symmetry. Now moving into the last one, which is roto-inversion. So it is a combination of two, rotation plus inversion. Roto-inversion. In this, first rotation occurs and then inversion occurs. For example, we take 2 bar which has a 2-fold rotation axis, right? 2-fold rotation axis plus inversion bar. Now we have to rotate first 180 degrees. We have to rotate any motif 180 degrees first, and then you have to invert it. For example, we have to understand like this. For suppose if you are observing the cap, how this cap, this shape, it will be like this row. So we will be writing the motif will be, first original motif is like this. If you take this, it will be shape of like this. So we are getting the first original motif, this one. Now we are applying actually 2 bar for this. So we have to, what we have to do, we have to rotate by 180 degrees like this. When we are rotating 180 degrees, this cap will be shape of like this, like this form, right? Because we are applying the 2-fold rotation, we have to rotate by 180 degrees. So when we are rotating, this cap actually comes to this position and we are getting the motif like this. Now we have to apply the inversion, center of symmetry. When we apply the center of symmetry for this cap, it will be like this. So it will be the form of, you can see it is like this. So if you observe this thing, it acts like a mirror plane. If you observe these two, if you put the mirror plane in between them, they become mirror images to each other. So 2 bar roto-inversion produces a mirror plane. Okay, like this you can put 3 bar, 4 bar, 6 bar, you can calculate that also. Okay, now we understand the elements of symmetry, mirror plane, axis of symmetry, center of symmetry, roto-inversion. On combination of all of these on the crystal systems, we can get 32 non-identical crystal classes. समझेंगे? This also we will understand in the latter part. What I am saying is that we know that 2-fold axis of symmetry occur, 3-fold axis of symmetry occur, 4-fold axis of symmetry occur. For suppose if you take any crystal system which contains, we know that 3 axes are present, A1, A2, A3, right? So for a cube, 4 and 2 and 3 are possible. If I am putting 4 axes in 1 and 2 axes in 3, and I am putting 3-fold axis of symmetry in another axis, okay, this will form one type of class. Now if I am putting only 2 on the one axis, 3-fold rotation on another axis, so it will form another class which is 23. Like that, if I put in many positions, like when these axes are oriented, it will form many positions in that system, and each of the positions, if I put 4 bar or any type of mirror plane in this, and again I am putting the 2-fold rotation axis, like this, if I am combining the symmetry elements, if I am putting the center of symmetry on one axis, if I am putting the 2-fold rotation of axis in one axis, so we are producing a different types of crystal classes. And on combining all the crystal systems with these symmetry elements produces 32 non-identical crystal classes. समझ रहे हो ना मैं क्या बोलना चाहता हूँ? ये हमको सिमेट्री एलिमेंट्स पता है, क्या क्या है, प्लेन ऑफ सिमेट्री होगा, मतलब मिरर प्लेन हो सकता है, सेंटर ऑफ सिमेट्री होंगे, ये सब हमको पता है. अब इसको हम लोग क्रिस्टल सिस्टम में डालेंगे, मतलब अलग अलग एक्सिस के अलोंग अलग अलग हम लोग सिमेट्री एलिमेंट्स डाल के हम लोग डिफरेंट कॉम्बिनेशंस ट्राई करेंगे, पूरा 32 नॉन आइडेंटिकल क्रिस्टल क्लासेस बनेंगे. मीन्स दे आर नॉट like they are different. So the different crystal classes are produced are 32. Okay, don't combine with Bravais lattices. Bravais lattices are different. In the Bravais lattices, what we will do, we will combine the crystal system with PCC, FCC, like that. Crystal system with face centered packing, body centered packing, and primitive centered packing and end centered packing. We will combine the crystal system with this, and we will get 14 Bravais lattices. Now we are actually combining the crystal systems with the symmetry elements in this crystal system with symmetry elements. We are getting the crystal classes, 32 crystal classes. So you have to understand the difference between what are the crystal classes, because of the symmetry elements are present on different types of, on the different crystal systems, they are producing 32 crystal classes. What is Bravais lattices are that the crystal systems are applied on the FCC, BCC, PCC and centered. We are getting 14 Bravais lattices. When we combine these symmetry elements and this crystal system with FCC, BCC, PCC and centered, which means in the crystal system on the axis or different positions we are applying the symmetry elements. Along with that, if we are applying FCC, BCC, like atomic positions are different sides. For suppose in PCC what happens, at different corners, at every corner atom is present. In FCC, along with the corners, the face is also present, the atoms are present in the faces. So combination of all the things like FCC, BCC and 7 crystal systems along with that symmetry elements, it produces 230 space point groups. So we don't have to remember all the 230 space point groups, but first thing you have to understand this 32 crystal classes, because it is very important. We will understand later part. Okay, this is some view about how the symmetry elements when with the combined with the crystal system, how it produces the crystal classes. I am just giving the example like this. Okay, so this is about the elements of symmetry.